Okay, family, we're back for another round of the coronation of the king and the bride. Let's dig deeper. Here we are at Britannica.com. Corona Sun. What we're looking at is the codes needed for us to break down the scriptures with the Mazzaroth as our backdrop. I believe, as do many other watchmen who are studied and versed in Mazzaroth, that all of the scripture can be seen in the sun, moon, and stars, or the heavens. And that if we are studied enough, we'll be able to understand the scriptures with the heavenly signs. So what we're looking for is the coronation of the king and the bride in the heavens, in the sun, moon, and stars, and how these signs can lead us to the escape. So let's explore what this has to say and how we can associate it with our signs. Corona, outermost region of the sun's atmosphere, consisting of plasma, hot ionized gas. It has a temperature of approximately 2 million kelvins and an extremely low density. The corona continually varies in size and shape as it is affected by the sun's magnetic field. The solar wind, which flows radially outward through the entire solar system, is formed by the expansion of the coronal gases and only ends at the heliopause. So we can see here images of the corona of the sun. In spite of its high temperature, the corona yields relatively little heat because of its low density. The constituent gas molecules, are so sparse that the energy content per cubic centimeter is substantially lower than that of the interior region of the sun. The corona shines only about half as brightly as the moon and is normally not visible to the unaided eye because its light is overwhelmed by the brilliance of the solar surface. During a total solar eclipse, let me say this again, during a total solar eclipse, however, the moon blocks out the light from the photosphere, permitting naked eye observation of the corona. The corona can also be studied under the non-eclipse conditions with a special telescopic instrument called a coronagraph. So here we can see a picture of the corona of the sun during an eclipse. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at December the 25th, 2019, and we need to bring this time over. And we're going to get our time lined up here. Give me 1 second to get this focused in to where you can see this. Okay, here we are on December the 25th, 2019, at 1940 Jerusalem time. And we see a wedding ring eclipse. Now, during a wedding ring eclipse, which is not a total solar eclipse, one cannot see the corona as well as one can see it during a total solar eclipse. So for those of you who have joined me in my series on the wedding and also on the signs of the Enoch code and the Dendera zodiac code, you will see how we have received our signs of the betrothal period. And this right here is the beginning of the betrothal period. And this betrothal starts with a ring and a contract. And if you study these ancient Israelite wedding customs, I've done multiple videos on this. Please go back and watch my videos on all of the videos on the ancient Israelite wedding customs. Because the customs of today do not match the ancient customs, and we need to understand what these customs were to understand what we're looking for in the heavens for our signs. So many watchmen have many calendars and have connected many codes. This is not to put away or put down or set aside any other thing that any watchman has received. This is just an addition that the Father has given us as a sign, connecting all of them together to show us what we need to see in order to be on track with our time. So we see December the 25th, 2019, the beginning of the betrothal. We have a wedding ring and a contract. And in the breakdown of the code, we can read this in Esther 2. We have a 12-month period of purification. And I've also done videos on ancient Israelite purification. And all of these things play a role in understanding the completion of this wedding. So we have in Esther a code that shows us a 12-month period of purification, and 6 months with myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors and other perfumes. And so when I was looking for the breakdown of this code in the heavens, I found this sign of the wedding ring eclipse on December the 25th. And I believed back in the fall of 2019, when I found this sign, I believed that this was our escape. And until it came and went, and I started searching for an explanation, I did not understand what was the rest of the story. So in my prayers and in my diligent seeking of the explanation, the Father revealed the rest of the code. And the rest of the code comes from these ancient customs, and then also in Scripture. So we see in Esther the 6 months of myrrh and the 6 months of odors, sweet odors. So I needed to have confirmation in the heavens, and I found it. Because on June the 21st, 6 months after this sign, we have another partial or wedding ring eclipse happening on the summer solstice. And then, as most of you know, we're going to go to 2020, and we're going to go to December the 14th. And what do we have but a total solar eclipse? And I do not believe that the total solar eclipse happens in Israel, but we can see this total solar eclipse, and many of the videos that I've done before breaking down this sign in the heavens of the sun and the moon coming out of the huppah together on the Feast of Hanukkah with a total solar eclipse. Now, as we read before, the only way to see the corona of the sun is during a total solar eclipse. So I believe December the 14th, 2020 is our final sign of the coronation of the king and the bride. December the 14th, 2020, at 10 o'clock, approximate. This is an approximate time. I'm sure we can come up with an exact time of the eclipse by looking this up. But from my perspective here, I am seeing the sun and the moon come out of the huppah with Mercury, the messenger, right there, announcing the coronation of the king and the bride on Hanukkah.